There we go. It has been a minute. How's it going? Be home soon. Okay. Don't hurt yourself driving. Now stay. Why did that change? Okay. I think we're good. Weird. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. Let's see. I don't like that at all. I need... Ooh, hi. Oops. Hiya, hiya. How's it going? How are you doing, sir? I have been sick for the last, 3 days or something. So it's been a long week. Taking a break from jeez. Oh, thank you. Favorite Friday night show. It's your only Friday night show. Come on. I haven't played StarCraft in forever. I was never super good. Man, this is too loud. I was never super good at StarCraft. Jesus. I think I had it on this machine for a while. I saw they launched the new or the remake of that's why I only play single player offline matches with mods. That's fair. I don't think I've ever played multiplayer. I've only ever played single player. The idea of multiplayer in that game scares me. I feel like I would not last any time at all. I saw they launched the new or the remake of Resident Evil 4 or whatever. Stop that turd. And it looks like finally my Last of Us Part 1 is gonna drop for PC. So that's cool. It's about time. I'd play multiplayer with y'all against AI. That might actually be fun. Cause you can do teams, right? I don't know how any of it works. I don't know how any of it works because I am a loser. Pastor? Oh my god, there's a pastor? Holy crap. Are you wanting in here, man? Hold on. I hear a voice way off in the before times. There is, hold on. I got to get rid of all of this. All right. Can you hear me? Oh no, because I'm not. Hold on. I can hear him, but he can nay hear me.
Well, okay, I can't hear you though.
Yeah, see, he can't hear me.
Did I pick the wrong room?
Hold on, no, it's coming. It's coming. We're getting there. There.
Nothing makes sense.
There you are. Peter?
There you are.
Okay, now, are they hearing you? Is the question.
They were a bit ago.
He's quiet. Well, that's not my fault.
Yes, it is.
I can't make him speak in like a louder, manlier voice. It's just not.
Why is that? Okay, monitor only. Because I haven't like done anything with my computer yet. Like nothing works.
Even Stevens. Cool. How's it going, sir? I had given up on you. I wasn't sure if you were coming.
I even messaged you and said I'll be there in a minute. Dinner went late. And
oh no, you're fine.
Everything's new. Everything's new.
Yeah, you're in your new domicile.
I am in my actual house.
Wow. How does that feel?
Expensive. It feels expensive. We've got basically $30,000 worth of work that needs to go into it, like pretty quick, which we knew, like,
yeah,
that's a lot, but we were kind of planning on it, like,
yeah, you kind of take that into account, like, because you usually get a better deal if you take one that needs a little work, right?
Right, and we did not pay a tremendous amount of money for the house. Good. Why are you not working?
His office barely looks any different at all. Yeah,
I know, right? No, there's except there. It's driving me absolutely crazy because the bunker painting is missing. No idea where it is.
Man, should I hide mine so that it
maybe
don't feel? Well, it's okay. He's not here this week, so
that's true. So I guess it's not so bad.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why. Well, no, dude. You should be going there.
And look at those headphones, man.
Yeah, I had to. I busted out the AKGs. They're a lot.
Very nice.
But I didn't want like the Sony's. Now that the house is so big, I wanted to hear like what's going on around me a little bit better.
That's fair. That is fair.
Like, we basically went from like. The livable area of the home we were in is basically one floor of the home we have now.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's a lot.
Some Gollum-ish mover person stole the bunker painting to worship in his dingy den of creepiness.
No, that makes sense.
It tracks. That is
it is as accurate as anything.
That is now.
Okay, so if I feed that to virtual output B, no.
Yes. No.
That's what. Okay, so I've got an OBS fight on my hands.
Oh, buddy, our favorite.
Because it's not audio issues, or it's not our stream unless there's audio issues.
Of course. I was doing good. Well, actually, There was no audio when I started the stream.
Oh well. Okay, so
Oh, well.
I've got the audio coming in. It is bouncing in OBS. Why is it not going to my monitor output?
Because your monitor output is set to the wrong thing.
Which I would think that, but it seems to be set to the right thing.
In your universal control, are you listening to the correct mix?
Yes.
And is it bouncing in there?
No. So it's not getting from
Oh.
OBS to universal control somehow.
There's your problem right there.
Well, right, but OBS doesn't tell you how to fix it aside from saying it should totally be working right now.
Should we ask ChatGPT?
When in doubt, ask ChatGPT.
I've been sick for like 3 days, so I apologize if I'm a little loopy
Oh, no.
tonight.
Oh wait, what if I do this? Okay, so if I do that, still not booping.
Nope. There is no sound in your
Oh, wait.
monitors. Oh,
Wait, that did it.
Oh,
That fixed it. Okay.
What was the problem?
I don't know.
What did you change to make it start happening? Uh-oh.
Mrs. Pastor and the dog are going to march militantly out the step-on floor stomp.
Okay.
That's I think that's what's happening.
I feel like this is the worst game of charades ever.
20L3 three words.
3 words. First
four.
word.
Fourth down.
How are we at 4?
L
L.
E.
Leash. Where is the leash?
Yeah. Yes, I know I made that more difficult. Have fun.
Am I ever going to fix Discord from posting the last show instead of a link to the new one? It is
I
actually
think that's YouTube.
it is I believe posting a link to the new show, but the new show has the last show's name because it hasn't updated yet because I can't update it until after I click the button to go live.
Wait, what? That doesn't make sense.
I know, I'm probably doing it wrong.
I think you're doing it wrong.
Probably. I would not even be remotely shocked.
I mean, neither would I, let's be honest. But that's okay. One of the side effects of getting set up in new office is like I ordered a new one of these.
Ooh.
So I have for my camera mount, I've got the Elgato like camera arm thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it just like it goes right like this thing pokes in that thing and it holds the camera.
Yes.
You can get a little attachment arm that goes on there that I'm actually going to put my shotgun mic on, which currently is like right there.
Oh, okay.
Just conveniently out of frame. But then they have a like stretchy arm with like a 6-inch riser on it that's designed to get over large monitors.
Oh, interesting.
And this thing's just kind of a piece of garbage.
I know Elgato, I think it's Elgato, they make a mic stand as well that goes under your monitor.
Oh, I saw that one. But I decided the over one would be, I feel like that's easier to get out of the way.
Probably.
Because I ordered this guy. Loop. We'll just put it there because I can post links.
You can. You're special.
Yeah, I like
Elevate your microphone.
I like the little like riser thing that goes with it.
Ball head.
The downside is I'll have to find my little like threaded microphone adapter thingers
Oh, yeah.
to go from big hole to little hole.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's, you heard me.
That does actually look like a nice mic stand.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, okay. There's the with my desk, I didn't think the low profile one would work real well.
I really need to. How much was your camera mount?
Camera mount was
I guess I could. I'm on their website. I could.
right. It's the master mount. So it's $40, and then you got like, check out their little configurator thing.
Multi-mount. Hold on. Mini mount? Is that it? Mini. Oh, no, that's for
Master mount.
master mount. Excuse
So I got,
now
I
it's
think I
playing
got
me
the
a
master
video.
mount L.
Oh.
And then I ordered the solid arm, and then a couple flex arms just to like give myself a little bit more usefulness.
Configurator. Let's check this thing out. Master mount left. Oh, large or small?
Large and yeah. I got the large one just because, you know, I didn't know what I was going to need for sure. I could have gotten a small one and been fine.
The flex arm is pretty cool too.
Yeah, especially if you get one of the flex arms with it, like you absolutely could get by with the small one, no problem.
See, and I'm thinking I might be able
Why is the small one more expensive?
The small master mount?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Why is it $5 more for the small one?
That's weird. I have no idea.
But yeah, so I'm gonna take the solid
Barleezy.
arm and maybe put a hey Barleezy.
He finally decided to grace us with his presence.
I have finally successfully moved enough to actually have like a computer again.
And yes, taken out of context, this entire conversation is sketchy as fuck.
I'm pretty sure like taking anything we say out of context is gonna be super
fair.
sketch.
Like I have the only like I've got my monitor mount, my old monitor mount that I don't use anymore,
Oh yeah.
and I've got a laptop stand on it that I put my laptop on when I'm working, and then like clamped to the top of it, I've got this one little weird arm thing that holds my camera, but my camera's too heavy for it.
Oh.
So it's constantly sliding.
Yeah. This thing is solid. Like it's built as good as like any quality mic stand I've used.
Yeah, I should probably figure this whole system out a little better.
And the clamp is it's like 1.5 inches wide. So it will clamp
nice.
well to anything.
I've,
And it's all rubberized, of course, so it's like nice.
I think I have decided that at some point I am going to pull the trigger on that Kali audio speaker system.
Ooh.
It's too nice.
Yeah.
And every review I read or watch or anything, they're like, yeah, this is like worth twice as much money.
Dang. I was gonna get a new desk. Just because like I've had this one for a while and like I want to kind of change the layout. I thought I found one that I really liked. Because it was like $400. Like I think it was 72 inches long, like a good like working desk. But in all the pictures, it showed it had like dual monitor mounts, which of course aren't actually included.
Of course not.
And I was like, well, that's sketchy. Don't lie to me.
Oh man. So the move was good.
Move was good. Yeah, the only like I found this microphone yesterday. Like
It was hiding
just-
from you.
it was. And then yeah, the only thing that's like truly not where I thought it was is the painting. Like everything else is just like mysteriously in a box because moving.
Weird.
Like
Hopefully it'll show up. I mean, surely you didn't like throw it away.
right.
Hopefully.
Hopefully not. But it'll be somewhere. Like we have so many random boxes of random things. Like it's just crazy. Oh, so when did you plague, sir?
Sorry, I was muting myself while I blew my nose.
No, you only muted yourself so much.
No, I think it started like 3 days ago, 2 days ago,
Oh,
and today it's just been snot.
Yeah.
Just lots and lots of snot.
it's not a problem.
So I learned something since you were last on this show.
Which was, I mean, it's been like what, a month and a half, maybe.
It has been
Like,
a
it's
while.
been forever.
So one night on a whim, I decided to see where the closest dispensary to my location is. Like,
Oh, okay.
out of all of the states where marijuana is legal, like, what's the closest dispensary, and could I drive to it in a day? Right?
Okay.
Because Ohio is legal there, and I was like, maybe there's something like right on the border.
Because Cincinnati is like not far.
Yeah,
Like you could go to Cincinnati and back
yeah.
in a day.
So I was like, well, let's see what's there. And I ended up falling down a rabbit hole and discovering that there's legal weed that you can buy.
Wait, like where you're at?
Yeah. Like,
Interesting.
like, I can show you this. I feel like maybe, did I show you any of this stuff? Or was it just the stream? Like,
Okay.
here, hold on. That is really bright, and it's bothering me anyway. Like, that's a joint.
I mean, it just looks like one of the cheap cigars I used to smoke in college.
Yeah, but I've got gummies, lots of gummies I bought. I went to the local head shop and bought some vapes, some
Okay.
disposable
And,
vapes.
this will be the last stream, everybody. Now that we've-
And the weird thing is, it's all totally legal. So the way that it
well,
works,
right, because
it's
Hmm.
it is so the thing that is illegal is THC that comes from marijuana, right? So they
Okay.
call that it's got a number, something 9. What is it? Delta 9. That is the
Okay.
THC that comes from marijuana. Well, there's Delta 8, which is THC that comes from hemp.
Okay,
Totally legal as long as it's under a certain percentage, right? Which,
got it.
surprisingly, is enough to fuck you up. Not like to get super high, but like enough to fuck you up. So, that's been an interesting experience.
Okay.
So I've been smoking pot again, legally, which is weird. It's all very strange. Dude, sleeping though. Oh my god, it's so good.
Is it helping with the sleeping?
Oh my god, and the dreams are amazing.
Well, that's good.
And
I mean, that's you certainly do.
so that's a thing that has been happening. Last time I streamed, not the last time, maybe the time before that. Anyway, at some point, I took a couple of hits. And I got a little too high to be on the internet.
Oh,
I was like, all right, you know what?
I mean,
done.
that shows how we've grown as people, though, right? Like the amount of the.
That's true.
I mean, you really think about it, like that shows how we've grown as people.
It does. I have a question for people that live in states where it's illegal, bordering legal states. Ask away.
So, well, and I having lived in Utah, which was right next to Colorado.
That is true. That is very true. I know that it is still technically illegal to go to a state where it's legal, buy it, and bring it back.
Interesting.
Because you cannot cross state lines with it. But that's a federal thing? So, like, if it's not a federal police officer, then... Can't legal state retailers put stores right on the border for convenience of use? Yes.
Yes, and they do.
Something tells me, though, that the cops would sit right on the other side of the border and just pull everyone over.
Okay, so So you know the scene in SLC Punk when they're talking about going to Evanston to buy alcohol.
Yes.
It's just like that, only
Yeah.
dispensaries. Like that's because they know what you're doing and they know that they can't like, but they are also absolutely at the border waiting to search people.
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting because like our governor is changed the laws here so that like technically it's not illegal to bring weed over the border if it's under a certain amount and you have a receipt that proves that you bought it legally, then it's technically not illegal here, but it's still a federal crime to cross the border with it.
Well, and all that Fed stuff is just like it's so weird anyways because like it's still federally like one of Mrs. Pastor's good friends like is a government contractor, and so like even though she qualifies for medical marijuana in Utah, like she can't get it because as a federal contractor, like
oh yeah, weird. To battle that, can't illegal states put certain structures near the border where legal weed shops have to?
No, because once you're they can't do anything like one state cannot okay, it's gotten fuzzier since that Texas law passed. But like in theory, a state cannot regulate what another state can do. Only the Fed can do that.
Yeah. It's all very strange. The funny thing is, so I have a coworker that works in Chicago where it's very legal. And she comes down here and was in a head shop here and was talking to them about like, hey, I'm from Chicago and like blah 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 blah. So all of the head shops here are fully stocked and ready to just the day that it becomes legal, it is on the shelves. Because they were like they gave her weed. We're like, here, take this and don't tell anyone. Which I thought was weird. Here dispensaries can't be near schools. I'm sure that it's gonna end up being regulated because I'm guessing that there's regulations for liquor stores as well. That like liquor stores can't be near schools or whatever. So it's probably along the same lines.
That would be my imagination, yeah.
That would be your imagination.
My imagination.
That is my imagination.
Oh.
So what have you been up to other than moving?
I mean, moving's been most of it. Like, it's amazing how much of your time that takes up.
It does take a lot.
Yeah. So church has been church. Dude, I'm living in a box fort. Like, that's really what it comes down to. We actually really like the neighborhood. Like, one of the first things we noticed is like, it's a good sign when there are women running by themselves with headphones in.
Yeah.
Like that just tells you a lot about what the neighborhood's like.
True. And 7-Elevens do sell beer and tobacco, but they can't sell hard liquor.
Right. And every state is going to be different.
Yeah.
Because states.
Yeah. Like here, the Walmart can sell wine, but they can't sell liquor. So they have a separate store outside that you have to walk out of and walk in another door to buy alcohol. Like our grocery store is the same way. It's weird.
And no, these neighbors aren't firing any guns at anything. Actually, it's kind of nice.
Not yet, anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, these things could always change, but yeah, so far.
You'll have to send me an address so I can look you up on Google Maps. And
oh yeah, I can do that. I will put it in our private Discord.
Ooh, privies. I feel like it's been a long time, but like I'm going through my head and nothing has happened.
Right. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah, like nothing's really changed much. Nothing.
yeah. Um.
I haven't been on the Minecraft server since the last time we were on it together.
Oh wow, really?
I got Atomic Heart and have been playing that.
Okay. I finally finished up my playthrough of what's it called? Dragon Age Inquisition after like slogging through it for so long.
Dragon Age Supposition.
Yeah. And now I'm playing Pathfinder Kingmaker because I got it
Oh.
in that like mega bundle for the earthquake stuff
Yes.
for dirt
Yeah.
cheap.
That huge stack of games for very cheap. I saw it. I've got a handful of games that I just like as soon as I got home today, Steam reloaded and like 3 games popped up that all looked really good.
Oh,
Like
nice.
The Last of Us for PC is about to come out,
Okay.
and I'm excited for that. Uh, the remake of Resident Evil 4 just released today.
Okay.
And
That's something.
there's another one that you're like you play the you play death.
You play Death.
Like you're a little death character.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't know. It looks like it's like a side scroller adventure
Yeah.
sort of thing, which looks cool. So I don't know. Probably just be playing a lot of video games for a while.
Yeah, that's fair.
Uh, yeah, my life has pretty much existed. It's work, movies, and drawing while stoned. That's been my life.
Okay. I mean, that's not a bad life.
No, and I did finish some art that I'm actually kind of proud of.
Nice. Show it off. Where's it at?
I. Okay.
I mean, if
like,
you're
I
proud of
don't-
it,
I am.
let's show it off.
It feels weird though. Like it's been a minute since I've done something that I was actually like proud of. Here, let's see. I will post it in the Discord. Maybe if I had Discord on here, do I have Discord? Yes. Got it. We're gonna go. Okay, we got it. We're gonna close that. We're gonna go to art.
Have a nice death.
Have a nice. Yes, that is it. I finally watched Star Wars Episode 7 through 9. What did you think?
Ooh.
Explicit content cannot be sent to the desired recipients.
Wait, what?
That's it. It failed to upload. Let me try that again.
But well, the art looks like the art one isn't not safe for work.
But it's not explicit. There's
Well,
nothing
how do you know?
explicit. How do I know?
Yeah,
I
how do
fucking
you
drew
know?
it.
That doesn't mean anything.
True.
You need a Republican to tell you.
Can we make it not? Can I make it not safe for work? How do I do that?
Oh my gosh, can we talk about just like
Dude,
the embarrassment that is the like TikTok
oh my god.
like
I caught
What?
like a minute and a half of it and winced so hard.
what even like what universe are we in? Like that is it is the most asinine absolute nonsense.
Yeah. Yeah. The here, let me see if I can mark this. Age restricted channel? Is that what I'm doing? Sure. Okay. Save changes. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. There it is.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
Good lord. It looks all fuzzy. Why is it
Yeah,
so
it
fuzzy?
happens.
Why is he so fuzzy? Stupid fuzzy. Yeah, that's way too much of my life went into that. I need to post it on like Facebook and shit too, but whatever.
You got time.
They're fine. Without talking about spoilers, Mando and its effects on the overall canon. I am enjoying Mando.
I have, of course, not watched any of it.
Of course.
Because why would I?
There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't think they'll make it in my Star Wars headcanon. Oh. I think if you take into account that before that movie even happened, the whole Palpatine clone thing was already part of the universe. Like, that wasn't something that they just pulled out of their ass for that movie.
Yes, it was. You know, don't lie.
It makes things a little better, I guess. I enjoy them. I like all things Star Wars, though. I don't care. Give me more Star Wars. The Mando show's been amazing.
What is... I feel like my compressor is not doing enough.
Your compressor is doing all that it can, sir. Bo-Katan is one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, by the way.
That's not better. That's not better at all. Oh my goodness.
Well, at least I can hear it now.
That was a whole universe of not better.
It's fantastic. I don't know what you're talking about.
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like...
There you go. Why aren't I using the icon? Because it's not quite right. Like, it's creepy.
Show us.
Hold on. This is gonna actually be difficult.
Oh, you don't have to. Like the story.
Because, like, you have to run it, like, through NVIDIA's app into OBS, and, like, it's a whole lot of... It's a whole shenaniganery.
Yeah, that's fun. We'll wait for your next video.
Yeah, I didn't do that.
Oh,
dude,
fine.
it was not right. Like, it was so creepy.
I mean, that's the point, though, right? It's supposed to be a little. It's supposed to feel a little creepy.
Well, but it's like, it's not the like creepy eye contact creepy. It's the creepy, like, just not real creepy. Because, like, I can make eye contact, and that's like one kind of creepy, right? Like, if I'm just like zoned in, that's one kind. But this is like, it's a whole nother level of creepy.
That's fair.
Oh yeah, and I think that's the amount that I want my compressor to be hitting. Like, it actually is like hitting now, and not just. It's not just gently caressing it. It's actually like...
Excuse me.
You heard me.
Whoa. I need to blow my nose again. I'm about to sneeze.
Okay.
I need to mute myself. Oh my god.
There is another... There's something else that I did kind of in the midst of the move, sort of, but not entirely. I switched my entire Dropbox over to Google Drive and canceled Dropbox. It took like a week on my crappy upload to upload all of that.
That's so. Question one: why?
Well, so for the longest time, Dropbox was like the only thing that actually functioned the way I wanted it to function. And now Google Drive does all of the things that Dropbox used to do, but better. Okay. And it's got all of the, like, it has a much better online interface, for one.
I mean, yeah.
It's got all of the integration with the Google Document Suite, for two. And we were already paying for it because, like, Mrs. Pastor needed some extra space for all of her pictures, so she was paying for it already. And I'm like, well, we don't need to be paying for two of these. And, like, Drive just seemed to work better for what I was doing.
So you did not do the NAS route?
Oh, I still have everything on the NAS.
I mean, you can make it public and just have your own Dropbox.
Well, I could do that, but I don't want. I don't have a good enough upload to do that.
Oh.
Like that's not going to work real well on 20 megabit upload.
Eh,
That's a little slow.
yeah.
It's a little slow. Now if I had fiber again, then that'd be a different story.
So what is the internet plan? Is that it? You get 20 up?
Yeah, I got a gig down, 20 up.
Is that cable?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it Comcast?
No, it's
okay.
It might actually be worse.
Oh, fantastic.
Armstrong, they're like semi-regional. Like they're not good. Their customer service is terrible. Like it's just bad. Like it is straight up bad.
Do they have plans for fiber there at all?
They claim that they do. I don't necessarily believe them.
You're not holding your breath.
I'm not at all holding my breath. There are like a couple. There's a DSL company that's fixing to run fiber up here as well. What are they called? Like wind something. But like basically whoever the first person to get fiber to my house is gonna win my services. Like it's gonna be that straightforward. Like
I mean, that's fair. That is fair. It's that last mile.
well, and like here's what's so funny. Like I am up the street from Armstrong's like call center. So you'd think that they would just like spread it out from their call center.
Nah.
But no, why would they do that?
No. That would make way too much sense. They don't put call centers near where the actual work happens. What are you talking about?
Right.
We've been watching a bunch of TV shows. We have finished the first 2 seasons of What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, okay.
Very funny. We are working on season 2 of Wellington Paranormal, which is
Okay.
same people. Very funny. I've been going through the Clone Wars, watching that. And that's been a lot of fun.
Oh, I haven't been watching much like TV wise. Just mostly just kind of moving.
I mean that does tend to your shelves do look kind of empty there, buddy.
Yeah, I'm working on them. There's because there's like that space right there is where the painting's going to go.
Gotcha.
And then I've got like trinkets and things to go on some of the other stuff, but I haven't found them yet. So yeah, it's getting there.
At least you got the Dune up there.
Yeah, I've got Dune up there. I've got BattleTech stuff right over there. The Witcher is over there.
I also need to see your T-shirt.
Oh,
Respect your elders, and it's a bear.
yep.
I get that reference.
That's what it is.
Do you wear that one to church?
Occasionally.
Do people
not too often, but
do people get
occasionally.
it, or are they completely oblivious?
They're mostly just confused. Like it's really kind of funny.
I would love to see you in your work environment.
Just
I think it would be interesting to shadow you for a day.
If you don't have to look all that hard to find out how I do like an adult Bible study class. Like if you know what you're looking for, you can find it pretty easy.
We had to stop watching Adam's Family and the '60s Batman because they left Tubi and aren't free anywhere else. Everything is free somewhere. Arg.
Arg.
Arg me matey.
And you gotta say it exactly. You gotta say that every time you do it too.
Arg.
Arg.
Every time a download completes. Arg.
Arg.
Ahoy. Nicey files. Or something. I don't know. Download ahoy. We actually purchased both the Addams Family and the '60s Batman on Vudu for super cheap.
Nice.
And you get the whole thing for very cheap. It's nice to have, but then you can download it and not feel bad, like if you pirate it.
Right. If you buy it, then yeah, then there's nothing to feel bad about.
Yes, because you have given people the money for the things, and that's how it works, right? As long as you're giving them money for the things.
That is exactly how it works because it's a backup copy.
It is. We don't have Hulu, I don't think. You don't need Hulu. I promise. You need. Stealing is bad, and I would never do it. I wasn't talking about stealing. Stealing is bad. If I come to your house and take your bicycle away from you, that is bad. I have stolen your bicycle. Now, if I come to your house and make an exact copy of your bicycle, is that stealing? I don't
You
know.
wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a car.
You wouldn't download a car, would you? Actually.
Oh, those ads were so dumb.
Yeah. And then come
They
to
were
find
trying
out that
so hard.
the music in the background they had pirated themselves and didn't get clearance for it. Yeah. And the band that did the music sued the shit out of them.
Oh, that's amazing. I like that so much.
Greatest movie about stolen bike. What is the greatest movie about a stolen bike? Pee-wee's Playhouse, the Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Pirating is bad because if it wasn't bad, Disney would never make a ride based on it. Exactly. And that is what that ride is about.
That is certainly... The Drive database has automatically been updated on your NAS. The system detected that some drive settings are not optimized. Therefore, we recommend restarting the system.
Oh. Uh-oh, what did you do?
I don't know. I didn't think I did anything.
Also, if you would happen to stumble upon, or if you were walking down the street and you were wondering how you would find things that people had left in the gutter to pick up and take home with you, copies of things that people left in the gutter, I would highly suggest 1337x.to. It's a good resource for finding lost things on the internet.
A resource for... Okay, that is certainly a way to phrase that.
When people lose digital data on the internet, it can be hard to find. So you use sites like this to help you find.
Okay.
I
gotcha.
Speaking of, have they cracked that woman's game yet?
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
They were still working on it the last time I looked. Oh.
What just happened? Are you exploding over there? Are you leaking all over the everything?
Yes. My face has been leaking all day. I took meds when I got home. I haven't done anything.
Ugh, I hate that.
God. Oh God. Okay, I feel much better now.
Are you something resembling alive?
Something. Sort of resembling alive. I don't know. There's been a lot going on. Did you see the woman in Utah who is suing the government to get the Bibles taken out of school libraries?
I mean, I did not see that, but
So I guess
that's
Utah is one of the places where they passed one of the no pornography allowed in school libraries.
oh yeah, and of course, obviously, there's a whole book that's basically pornography.
Yeah. So this woman is suing them uh, to get that pornographic book out of the Bible, or out of the out of the
I
library.
like it. I approve of that actually. I'm
I
down
do
with
as
that.
well. I also like the the Jews. I like the Jews. That's the end of my statement.
That's it. That's the whole.
I just like the
that's
Jews.
the whole thing. That's all you have to say about that.
No, I guess some big Jewish organization is suing the government over the abortion thing.
Oh yeah, because it's a religious freedom issue.
Yeah. Conservatives on TV said, quote, "We have the power to stop Disney because we're their audience. Liberals don't have kids." End quote. Liberals don't have kids.
I mean,
What? What? How?
that. Why not? Just
Sure. That is incredibly out of touch.
so your app it uses the Wi-Fi, does it?
Does your app connect to the network? That was the dumbest thing the dumbest back and forth that I have
Did
seen.
you see the guy that was like, "Does your app track if your eyes dilate and when you get excited looking at something?" And the guy was just like, what?
That's really weird. No.
The whole thing was just.
That's true. If liberals don't have kids, who is going to the drag queen story hour? That is a good point.
Oh, that is a good point.
And if liberals don't have kids, then who are the kids that are pooping in the litter boxes?
So I actually found something out about that.
I
not too
did
long
too.
ago, that there are actually litter boxes in classrooms,
Kinda, yeah.
but
yeah.
they're not for. They're not for kittens.
Nope.
They're for school shooting lockdowns,
Yep.
so that you don't have to go in a trash can.
Yep. This is the
Which-
world we live in.
Ugh. Oh.
Yeah, I was thinking about this the other day. So about starting a commune. Like if we all put our effort together, we could probably pull this shit off. It can't be that hard if hippies did it, right?
Well, hippies did it by like basically stealing stuff. So
I'm down.
okay, that's fair.
Just get kids still suits from Dune. Problem solved. Yeah, right?
Oh yeah, there we go. That solved the water crisis too. Like
Right?
you're good.
So what did they steal? They didn't steal land.
Well, I mean, they mostly just like stole culture. So
Well, I mean that is hippies in general.
right, that's why the hippie to alt right pipeline is so straightforward.
Yeah. Straightforward.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah. Which, yeah. Satyr can steal, a pastor can forgive.
Hey,
Oh my
there we
god,
go.
we just found a cheat code.
We did. Look at that.
Oh,
Wait, what
wow.
is-
Free sins. I can do the sinning, you can do the forgiven.
Yes.
And we can. That is a real world God mode. Although,
Perfect.
I don't know what I would like. What would I if I could do any sin I wanted to? I would do it any. Like, there's nothing I'm not doing.
If you could do any sin you wanted to, there's nothing you're not doing.
Yeah, like if someone came to
Okay.
me tomorrow and said you can do any sin you want to, I would be like, cool, and I would go about the rest of my day just like normal, because like there's
So that is a thing that like I have noticed amongst Christian types, right? Like, well, if it wasn't for God, then who would keep us from doing all the raping and the murdering?
Yeah,
And I'm
you're
like, that
telling on yourself.
if you need God to keep you from doing that, then you're not a good person.
Yeah. Speaking of sin without consequences, I started Westworld. Interesting. Interesting. The whole concept of Westworld is very interesting to me. I would love that. It would be disturbing, but I would love that. Hippie culture led to drug dealers going corporate, becoming arms dealers.
I mean,
You're not wrong.
yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a very fine line between when you're doing stuff illegally. There's a very fine line between it being legal and illegal, and it usually entails making a little more money.
You're
And
right.
all of a sudden, it's legal.
If you make more money at it. I've just started, by the way, like, I don't call it lobbying anymore. I just call it bribery.
I mean, it is. Yeah. And
apparently the waves have returned from the ocean into the room.
What?
I don't know, but I'm being flipped off right now.
Oh, nice. I can help. There.
Oh,
now we're getting it everywhere.
Now I'm getting it everywhere. Well, that's fine. I deserve it.
So did we find out what was happening before?
Well, yes, they were going for a little puppy adventure.
Okay.
Taking the puppy on an adventure around the neighborhood.
Oh, nice.
And so now they are back from their puppy adventure.
Nice. Did they have a wonderful puppy adventure?
Was a wonderful puppy adventure had 2 thumbs up.
Nice.
And one wag.
Finger in the air.
that was earlier. Where did she go? Oh, there she went. Yeah, dog now is done. She's going away.
Yeah, she's like, I don't need you anymore.
Nope, you are not required for my existence.
So, big plans for the house. Tell me all about your plans.
Oh, okay. So our big plans are not exciting and yet very important things.
Okay.
So step 1, which is done, and this we're happy about this, that this is done. Step 1 was asbestos removal.
Ooh.
It wasn't too bad. Like, it was just a couple pipes in the basement that had asbestos insulation. And then there was like asbestos tape on some of the air blowy bits. What are those called? Ducts.
Yeah.
So that wasn't so bad, but like that was step 1, right? Like,
did you have someone else do that?
Oh yes,
okay.
I'm not an idiot. Okay. I paid a very interesting gentleman to come with his crew and the asbestos.
I'm sure he was interesting.
Step 2 is upgrading the electrical service from 60 amps to 200 amps. So like all of the electricity that my house currently can use is a total of 60 amps. Which is
sorry. That was
a really dumb
currently that was a bad one. I apologize.
That was a really bad joke. That was a terrible joke, sir.
You're welcome. Okay.
But yeah, so because it's such an old house, like we can run like the dryer and maybe the furnace, but like it just, we cannot physically install like air conditioning in the house.
Oh yeah, that's
because there's just not enough power. So we're upgrading that because we want to put in like air conditioning.
Right.
The electrician at first thought that it was going to end up costing $10,000.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's not going to be that.
Okay,
Um,
that's good.
the power company was willing to like, instead of us having to like trench all the way up from the backyard, they'll be like, well, we can just go from this pole right here and go to the front of the house. And I'm like, okay,
Please do
basically-
that.
yeah, so that cut that price almost in half.
Oh wow.
So now he's just like, the electrician is waiting on the power company, and it's now we're just playing the waiting game for that. And then when the electrical's done, then we can get the new furnace and new air condition. Well, actually, we're doing a heat pump. Spending a little bit more money up front, but kind of like putting our money where our mouths are when it comes to the whole environment thing.
That's fair.
We'll still have the gas furnace like as a backup if it gets super cold. But like mostly using the electric for heat, it's just, you know, better for the environments.
Since you're upgrading the power, can't you do solar?
So I'm not happy with the current state of residential solar.
Okay.
It's there is not sufficient storage resources to make it worthwhile.
Okay.
Now, so like, because of the way the power curve happens, electricity is needed at like 5-6 o'clock at night. That is when the grid is most being affected. Solar generates everything about 3 hours before that. So there is too much power when you don't need it and not enough power when you do.
Right.
And you can't just have like, power doesn't work like plumbing where you can just kind of like increase the pressure a bit. It just doesn't work that way. The power always has to go somewhere.
Right.
And if you have too much of it, you have to turn things off, and then you end up having to turn them back on later, which ends up costing more money, which ends up costing everyone more money. So until there are better storage options, I don't want to do residential solar.
Solar only for AC, then you only use it when you need it.
Well, but that's it. When you need air conditioning is after solar is going to generate most of its electricity.
What about batteries?
They're not good enough. I mean, yeah, there's some options that are, but they're even more expensive.
I mean, that's. Yeah, I'm looking at stuff and like.
Like you'd be looking at another like $10,000 to do like a whole home battery system, and that's not including the actual solar panels.
Yeah, they don't even tell you how much these batteries cost.
Yeah. Plus, the vast majority of residential solar companies are just shady.
Yeah, I can imagine that's not the greatest. I mean, how hard can it be? You went to school for electrical shit, just do it yourself.
I'm a little rusty.
You'll figure it out.
But yeah, like it's something that I'll definitely like. I might want to do in the future, but it's not something I want to do right now.
Gotcha.
Just not until like the large scale energy storage stuff really comes into play. There are some neat ideas with that though. Like there's one thing that they're trying to figure out of like they basically pumping compressed air into old salt mines.
Oh yeah, I saw something about that.
And then there's another one. You have to have like the right structures for it, but it's basically like pumping water up into a lake and then letting it flow back down into another lake. But you have to have like two things that can hold water a significant distance apart from one another.
Yeah, I was watching something. They were talking about towers that they pump when they have power. They pump water up into these towers, and then yeah, basically what you just said.
Yeah.
And then when they need power, they let it come out of the tower and then use that to regenerate the power that they use to pump the water up. But there's still too much loss of power in that cycle or something.
That's the big problem. You don't get enough out of it as when you put into it.
That sucks. That sucks.
And there's always going to be loss in any kind of energy storage, but like it needs to be minimal.
Yeah. It can always.
But I mean,
be
it's
better.
getting there. Like things are getting better. I just remember like, so I was on the public utilities board in the town we used to live in. And people would always be complaining about like the solar company told us that we were never gonna pay a power bill ever again. And then it's just like, well, the solar company lied to you.
Yeah. Why did you, Your last comment got grayed out. What? What did you say?
I don't see a grayed out comment. That's weird.
Moderation activity will be shown.
I
don't see anything.
I don't see anything.
Weird. What did you say? It was so bad they don't even show us.
I know.
I posted it never will come into play because it isn't profitable for the large companies to give people access to a renewable source they can't control. It's fair. I feel like we're at the point now where someone's going to do it because they can make money off of it. Like someone else that's not the power company is going to do it.
Well, and see, that's the thing is most of the like actual people responsible for this sort of thing actually do want good renewable options. But one of the big problems is this anti-nuclear bias that is like nuclear is such a perfect baseline that like everyone's pushing for wind and solar and hydro and yada yada yada, but like if we just fund some nuclear power plants we could get off of coal and natural gas and all of that entirely.
I have some money. I put like $5 or something into this company that what are they called? Their whole thing is they're working on building nuclear power plants, NuScale Power Core.
Oh yeah, I know them.
They're working on
my father-in-law works real closely with them actually.
Really? I think their whole thing is interesting.
It's there's a thing that they're working on right now. It's the Carbon Free Power Project. And it's like their pilot program, and it's actually going to power in part the place that I used to live.
Really?
Like my father-in-law is one of the big guys on that project.
Interesting. Well, I have money in NuScale, so tell him to do good.
I will tell him that he needs to do good because my friend's got money riding on it.
And actually, like my supervisor at work's the one who told me about it. So like, and he's got money in it too.
Yeah, like I really hope it takes off because these plants are amazing because they're incredibly modular. Like you can expand the project itself pretty quickly once the infrastructure's all up. And it is like instantly ramp up, ramp down. Like there's no, that you don't have to like spin anything up. It's just, you put the control rods in and it generates less power, pull them out and it generates more power.
Yeah. It's super interesting. You ever see the video on how our planet's core isn't perfectly cylindrical and how they haven't really mapped it all out? I saw, not John Green. Who's the other Green? His brother? Hank Green. I saw Hank Green TikTok where he showed a video, a little 3D model of what the core looked like. And it was all like, out one side.
Yeah. It's always fun when like something happens and all of a sudden it's like, oh look, everything we thought we knew is wrong.
Yeah. Like they found footprints of like a humanoid species that predates our known understanding of humanoid species by like 10,000 years. And they're like, whale.
Yep.
This throws a kink in our books.
I was watching something. It was somebody going through and debunking ancient aliens. Just like all that, like that's just pure historical racism. That's
Yeah.
literally all it is.
Yeah, and I never thought about that before until I think it was a TikTok I found. And someone was like, the whole concept of like aliens coming down and building the pyramids is just super fucking racist.
Yep.
Because it's
Yep.
like you're basically saying that you don't believe that this other culture could possibly do it themselves.
Right.
Therefore it must be aliens.
I also love that, like, people used to say that about Stonehenge. Like, we have no idea how they did it. And then, like, some dude in his backyard was like, this is how they
They
did
did
it.
it just like this. What are you talking about?
It was just one dude.
Yeah, he's like, you use a lever and a hole. Like, come on.
It's not hard, people.
Well, there were
Um,
people were like, we don't know how they moved these giant stones around on Easter Island, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
like the people on the island were like, no, watch, we can do it. Like they wiggle and it moves.
They
Like, what are you talking
literally-
about?
They literally are just like, no, they walked.
Right.
And they're like, what do you mean they walked? Like, no, watch.
You walk them where they want to go. Like, come on.
So my favorite example of that is so in the Pacific Northwest, when the first white folk came out there, the indigenous people were like telling them these stories of this ancient flood that had happened and how this huge flood had caused so much devastation. And the white folk were just like, no, no, you're just, this is just a stupid story. You're wrong. And then like 100 years later, some geologists were like, actually, there was a massive flood here, and it was happened around the time when these people would have actually lived there. So,
It's almost like other cultures keep track of history too.
yep,
It's weird.
it's
isn't it?
almost like.
It's almost like our entire concept of the planet is racist.
I mean, it pretty much is.
Yeah.
I am apparently out of water. Should
I
we
am
take a minute?
too. Yeah, let's do that. We'll be right back. While we're gone, what's your favorite racist fact? Not like a fact that is, you know what I mean. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Don't be racist, but what is something, what is a, fuck it.
I just said, don't be racist. I am a building pop in my head, and I hadn't been there for a while.
It is, what a long, strange trip this has been.
Oh, so strange.
All right.
So long.
We'll be back. Fingers. We're back. So we've
Back.
got look up Ainu.
Look up Ainu.
Pastors probably heard of them, but most haven't.
Um,
I already looked them up.
Oh, okay.
They have cool face tattoos.
Nice.
Pro wrestling has taught me that Samoans have thicker skulls so they can headbutt without feeling it.
Okay.
Which is saying actually is like, nope, that's true.
My one of my other favorite like random racist facts is that white people are actually super inbred.
I mean,
Like there is basically outside of Africa, there is almost no genetic diversity.
that's fair. Have you seen us?
Right. Like
I mean, you've seen the royal family. Favorite personal racist interaction is when I almost got into a fight with an NCO about Hawaii's history, which he thought he knew better than I.
you mean the super peaceful takeover of Hawaii?
They gave it to us, right?
Yeah, it was super peaceful.
We showed up. The white people showed up and were like, "Hey, you guys are animals, but we can make you better if you just give us all your land." And they were like, "Cool." That's how it went, right? That's how it went. Pretty sure that's how it went.
Yeah, that's mostly it.
You know what's weird? We didn't learn anything about Hawaii. Nothing at all.
Oh, we just learned like it became a state.
Yeah. It's
And I think
Alaska.
I had one history teacher that like mentioned that the Native Hawaiians killed Captain Cook, but it was like it was portrayed as a bad thing.
Oh, those mean Hawaiians
Yeah, those mean Hawaiians like
killed
trying
Captain
to
Hook.
maintain like it's like no. I celebrate that now.
Yeah. No, I probably would have tried to help. What? I ended up on a weird site of TikTok. I don't know what I did, but my algorithm, maybe because I've been TikToking while stoned, my algorithm has shifted.
Wait, Grover Cleveland actually tried to fight the overthrow of. Interesting. I never knew that.
The president at the time actually. Oh. Huh. Well, nobody seems to care about the overthrow that's happening now, where rich people are just going and buying all the land. That sucks.
Well, you know,
I wonder, like, if
too
you...
busy worried about TikTok.
True. If you had, like, Elon Musk money, right? Could you technically, like, buy all of the land in Hawaii and just give it back to the people? Like, could you make Hawaii independent by buying it and saying, "This is mine now, get the fuck off," and then just give it back to the people?
That. That's a good question.
Like, if you bought all of the land, which probably would never happen, you can make private land as trust to the people themselves. Well, because isn't there's an island that non-natives are not allowed on, right? We learned about Custer's valiant last stand in elementary.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Luckily, our high school teacher, our high school history teacher was pretty dope.
Well, dude, I went to elementary in New England, so like, talk about the Thanksgiving propaganda that we got.
Oh yeah, one whole island. Yeah. Hey, at least they got one. I mean, I know that's not great, but it's a start. Like, what if they just violently overthrew other islands? Could that happen? I've never been to Hawaii. I don't know what it's like. Like, in my mind, you could just, like, paddle over to another island and, like, take it over. Could we just take a bunch of guns and take it over and kick all the white people off and then say, "Cool, it's yours now"? No? Okay.
I mean, Sang is a parent. Like Sang says "yippee," so I don't think that's what that's in reference to. But that's my headcanon.
Okay. Yippee. That means yes, we can totally do that.
Yippee skippy.
Hawaii actually has an invasive deer species that they
Wait,
have to
how?
keep from swimming to other islands. Nice.
I'm sorry. What? Invasive deer?
Hawaii's.
Axis deer have been in Hawaii since they were gifted to King Kamehameha. Wow, I had a hard time saying that.
Yeah, you did.
Originally from South Asia, 3 males and 6 females were introduced to Maui in 1959, and since then, they have been, wow.
The struggle to contain and eat the invasive deer taking over Hawaii.
Huh.
Interesting.
Potentially 60,000 deer.
All came from 3 males and 6 females.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, the deer found no predators in Hawaii.
The
None
saturation
wolves.
of deer is terrible for Hawaii's watersheds as they feed indiscriminately and breed incessantly,
Yeah.
affecting Maui's already blighted water system.
Because they had so many predators in Asia, the deer evolved to give birth much more often than other deer species in hopes of outpacing the rate at which they got eaten.
Oh my gosh.
In Hawaii, there are no wolves, big cats, or terrestrial snakes or alligators to prey on them, but they still give
obviously-
birth year round.
Obviously, the solution then is to import alligators to
Yes.
Hawaii.
That always works, is you just import a bigger predator, right?
Yeah.
What are the predators in Hawaii? Are there predator animals at all? Is Hawaii like the anti-Australia?
Oh, maybe.
Like all the evil things went to Australia and tried to kill you? There's no predators at all.
Like
Holy
nothing.
shit.
Uh-huh.
That's kind of crazy. Huh.
So, why don't we just like get all the crazy white folk with guns to go to like get their hunting out in a place where they actually do need to get rid of
That's true.
deer instead of like
Hawaii didn't have predatory land animals until man introduced them. And,
eh,
I mean, they had one. It has 2 legs. Rats, dogs, etc. all came with man. That's fair.
is there something in like New Zealand or Australia that we can take over? Like just bring over some dingoes? They're mean, right?
I mean, they ate a baby once,
They
right?
did once eat a baby.
And I guess that's like a sad story because nobody believed her, and then they found out that they actually did, and then they were like, sorry, and then they made a movie about it or something. I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
I just remember the Seinfeld jokes. That's what I mostly remember it from is the terrible Seinfeld jokes.
Yeah, I don't. We had a conversation the other day about Seinfeld, and like, I feel like you're either Team Seinfeld or Team Friends.
You were obviously team bloody nose in elementary school.
It just won't stop leaking. I'm done. If you spot an axis deer on any island besides Maui, they are to be reported immediately.
Hmm.
So they're only allowed on Maui?
Well, and they're not. I don't think they're really like. I don't think they're all that allowed on Maui.
Oh,
I'm
God.
sorry. It's just that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, sorry about that. My face is. There's lots of things happening on my face right now.
Yeah,
It's a little irritating. I apologize.
I blame one of your coworkers.
I mean, that would be a problem.
There's 2 folk on staff at the church that are out with COVID right now.
Shoo.
Like, independently got it too, which is the weird part.
Weird. That's not great.
I mean, it was my turn right before Christmas, so like Christmas Eve was like the first day that I tested negative was Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, and I got it right before that or right after that. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
you did. That's right. You did have it right around then.
Yeah. Finally caught me, bastard. Oh yeah, because I got it at our Christmas party at work.
Oh, of
'Cause
course.
there was a dude that was sick there and didn't know it. This was right before Christmas. Family here, close to dinner time. Gotta go. If and y'all here later, I'll see ya.
Nice.
Otherwise, have a splendid, defer. Yes.
Splendiferous. Splendiferous. It's iron and Splenda.
Splendiferous night. I will have a I don't trust Splenda because it is.
I will have a sweet and low steel night. Thank you very much.
And I'm just gonna go for a raw sugar and titanium. A shutanium. Shug night.
Shug night.
I'm gonna have a Shug night.
You're gonna have a Shug night.
One Shug night, please.
Even what a Shug night be like?
What?
Like, what would that be?
Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's see. Yes. Log in. Here we go. What would a Shug night be like?
Just make sure you spell like one of them. Like, make sure you spell night like the evening, not the. Yeah.
Yeah, I did, and it said, I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what you were referencing when you say Shug Knight. Could you provide more context or information so I can better understand your question?
Okay.
So how do I explain?
Maybe like, what would a Shug Knight night be like?
What would a Shug Knight be like? Shug Knight is a controversial music executive and former CEO of blah 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 blah. This is it's just telling me who Shug Knight is.
Oh, well, that's not helpful.
No. Yeah, I don't think that is going to be very helpful. I will say that ChatGPT, I am impressed.
So I have not done anything with ChatGPT. Like, I'm aware of what it can do, but I have not personally done anything with it. What's interesting to me is how many people are like, this is going to be the end of such and such and such.
Yeah.
Like, what's the idiot that ran for president and it started his own party? The guy in that's not what I wanted. There we go. The guy from New York. Whatever his name is. He was like, this is gonna be the end of coding. Like,
no,
is it? Like,
there's a lot of people in programming who are super freaked out right now, and I think it's just because like it's the first thing that is remotely threatening to what we do, right? Like,
right.
Automation has been threatening jobs for decades, but this is the first thing that's been like, ooh, I could be coming after you guys.
But here's the thing, like, it's no more threatening to programming than like Stack Overflow's existence is.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and the thing,
because it's not going to be able to troubleshoot.
Right. I mean, it's pretty good. You can throw some shit out. I'm surprised. The thing that like I have coworkers who are younger, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the AI is going to take over our jobs, and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "You have not worked with enough clients."
Right.
And they're like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "If a client could describe what they actually wanted, yeah, I would be worried. But I have yet to meet a client that actually even knows what they want,
Right.
right? Like, there may be 5% of the clients out there that programmers work with that know what they want. Those jobs might get taken away. Have them. There's
Well, but
plenty
again,
left.
like, so, I've seen a couple pastors that are doing things like having ChatGPT write a sermon, and then they're writing a sermon, and then like which one's the human.
Right.
It is obvious which one is ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Like, and I've seen like a lot of the like media mills are starting to use ChatGPT and firing people over it. But
Yeah.
like these are the places that people just churn out BS content anyways. Like it's not like they're because if you ask ChatGPT something that requires specific knowledge,
Right.
it gets it wrong every time.
Yeah, and it's getting better with some stuff. Like, it's when I first looked at its programming stuff, it was dog shit. But now, like, I can throw a chunk of code at it and say it's giving me this error, why? And it'll tell me, or at least narrow it down and say it's because this variable is getting screwed up somewhere before here. And I'm like, okay, cool, thanks. But yeah, it's not going to, and you can use it to scaffold stuff really quickly, but it's not going to be replacing programmers. It can't think on a large enough scale. And there are people who are like, no, but once we're able to upload an entire code base to it, then we're gonna lose.
There was
whatever.
there was something that a friend of mine did. My old church history professor from seminary. I'm trying to find the article. He basically like ChatGPT confused like one biblical scholar for three separate people. And so it wrote how like that person disagreed with the other person who was himself.
Yeah. Well, and I saw another person recently that had ChatGPT generate an essay. And once it was done, it said, cool, can you give me references for this essay? And it did. And it was in the field that this specific person knew really, really well. And they were like, these are weird references because this has my name on it. I never wrote that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for a fact, like, this is an actual thing that exists. I know I've read this article. These are not the people who wrote it. And just today I was reading an article about how, so ChatGPT came out. So Google and, who was it? It wasn't Microsoft, because Microsoft bought ChatGPT. It's Google and someone else. Amazon, maybe? I don't know. Two other big AIs. Maybe it was Bing. I don't know. But they're starting to reference one another as a resource.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just in this loop of dog shittedness that, like, one of them said something slightly wrong once and it turned into, like,
Well, yeah.
robot telephone, and now it's just spitting out randomness. I love it.
Like this, it can be a great tool. It's like the AI art stuff, right? Like it can be a great tool to get you started.
Right.
And in very specific fields, it might it might start making programmers' jobs a lot easier. But again, you're not paying programmers for when things go right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you're paying programmers for when the system goes down at 3 a.m. for no reason and you have to fix it.
Right. Or when they give you a new feature that they want and you have to think about the entire structure of the program, how everything is connected, and then where's the best place to wedge that new feature in? Like what bits and pieces do you connect it to best future proof, or not future proof, but future safe
Right.
this thing? I don't know. I'm not worried about it. Just probably too because I've heard so many things about how, oh, this is gonna take programmers are not gonna be out of a job.
Right.
Okay, take it. Just take it.
Right.
I'm
Like
not
when,
worried.
I mean, like everybody thought, Squarespace is gonna end websites.
Yep, not gonna need them
No.
anymore. Wait, no.
No, it's not how that works.
Nope. It is really good at like, I'll write a function and throw that function in there and be like, can you refactor this? And it'll spit shit out and be like, I mean, half the time the changes that it makes are pointless.
Oh yeah.
It's like you should change this variable name so that it's better. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, so here's one of the things I kind of think about. Like, in my mind, one of the truly most genius moments in programming was when they had to figure out the fast inverse square root function for Quake. Because it makes no sense, and literally there's a comment in there that's like,
Right.
when an AI can do that,
Yeah.
I'll be worried.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. And if so, like, here's the thing. If we get to a place where AI, like, there are people now, I've been seeing these videos pop up on YouTube about, like, here's how to make money really quickly with AI. And you watch these videos and they're like, here's what you do. You go to ChatGPT and you say, write me a kid's story about a fox and a dog and how they become friends. And it spits out a thing. And then you take that over to an art AI and you break it up into chunks and you say, here's a character, make art for this story. And then you use that art and you put it all together, throw it up on Amazon, and there you go. You can make money on AI with very little work. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not worried about that at all. And no writer should be worried about that. No artist should be worried about that.
Right.
Because the market for that is like so small. Nobody's actively looking for those, right?
Right.
They're looking for stuff that is actually written well and actually has good art. And like, we're just not there yet.
Well, and that's kind of like, there are absolutely going to be things that, and really, I hate calling this stuff AI because it's not it's not that sci-fi version of AI that everyone thinks it is.
Right.
Like, did you see that the idiot who was like talking about how like ChatGPT has feelings or it wasn't ChatGPT, it was one of them.
As the big one, yeah.
It was like they were prompting it to reply that way.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't just coming out of nowhere. Like it was obvious why it was responding the way it was.
Yeah.
But like until the AI can actually have original thoughts and not just put things together in a way that kind of makes sense, like it's not going to really replace any human.
Right.
It might automate some tasks. It'll make some things go quicker. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. And like there's been AI in programming for a while. Like people are talking about ChatGPT taking over, and I'm like, we've had Copilot in VS Code as a paid feature that you can use AI to generate code for you for a while, and nobody is losing their job over the code that it's creating.
How long has Photoshop had its like AI based features?
Right.
Like you still have graphic designers.
Yeah, because it's just like audio engineering is a perfect example of this. So audio engineering used to be this thing that was held in a tower behind years of schooling and working in a studio, and you had to do this.
No, never schooling. Schooling, that was a shortcut. You couldn't.
Right,
You couldn't
you
really
can't do that. You got to just
that was a short. You had to curl cables and
yes, you just got to roll cables for the next 5 years.
yeah,
and then maybe
that's
get
how
some
you
coffee.
learn.
Yeah,
You learn by rolling cables and getting coffee.
yes, but like it was this thing that you had to have in order to produce music, and nobody had access to it. Nobody had access to the tools, to the hardware, to the software. It was
Right.
out of reach for 90% of the population. Now, it's not. Anyone who wants to spend an afternoon learning how to create music, like to do audio engineering, you can shake some shit together pretty quickly.
I was having a conversation with a dude at church. He's like, "Hey, I want to start like something like recording an audio files just for something for his work." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, get like I honestly told him like get an SM7B and get the Presonus Revelator.
Mhm.
Like you'll be set. Like
Yeah.
and it'll have everything that you need to do that."
Yeah. It's so easy anymore, right? Like the hardware, the software, it's all so
Well, even when we started doing the bunker, it was like a lot harder to get into this.
yeah. Oh yeah. Like when I first started messing around with Cakewalk Professional 7 back in 98 or whatever.
Had me beat by two versions. Two versions.
Dude, it was a nightmare. It was so difficult to learn how anything worked. And
I had my first audio interface was an M Audio Delta 44.
I had the same one.
It
was awful.
The drivers were awful.
Oh yeah, the latency issues and the skipping and the oh my
It was
god,
horrible.
and trying to get your audio, like your operating system audio, lined up with your
Oh
yeah.
Yeah,
So it's so
it's-
much better now, right?
yeah, because now it's just USB thing done.
Right. And did that change in audio engineering push people out of jobs? Probably. 100% there are studios that no longer
Well,
exist.
but here's the thing: the ones that it pushed out are the ones who would have been pushed out anyways because they refused to learn anything new.
That or they were just bad, right?
Right.
They were shitty, they were shady, they were trying to take money from people, they were doing, every industry has a shady side to it. And all that did was remove a bunch of the shady shit. The really good audio engineers, nothing changed for them.
Right.
They're not getting paid less. They're not out of work, right? Like, they're
There's
fine.
that dude. There's a dude on TikTok, and I haven't seen anything from him for a minute. But he was the one that's talking about like how they used to cut tape, and he goes from like talking about how he used to cut tape to like, yeah, this whole rack that I've got now, it's in my computer. I don't need
Yeah.
to worry about it
See, I
anymore.
don't need this shit anymore. Yeah.
Like, I'll use it if somebody really wants it, but what's the point?
Yeah. It's just, there's a dude that I follow. It might actually be the same guy. Is his name Greasy Will?
I don't think so.
You would like Greasy Will. You should.
I'm gonna go look up Greasy Will.
He's amazing because he calls out all these producers on TikTok who are giving out really bad information,
Nice.
and he just shits on them. It's great. But he says that he's like, look, I have $20,000.
Greasy Will music.
There we go.
I can eat like 8 cheeseburgers.
He's like, I have $20,000 worth of outboard equipment sitting here. Some of the best compressors, some of the best preamps, some of the best equipment that you can buy is sitting right here. I haven't used it in 8 months. I use this shitty little audio thing and it's all goes in and I do it all in there. Why? Because that is so much easier than dealing with all of that. That's cool and it sounds great. I don't need it. Who needs it? And it's the same thing. Like, we're not going to lose programmers. Will there be programmers that lose their jobs because of AI? Absolutely.
Yes, but there'll be the ones that needed to lose their jobs.
Yeah. They're the ones who are going to probably lose their jobs anyway.
Right.
It's just a matter of time.
And it's
And-
like ChatGPT is not going to replace a pastor.
Right.
Like it now, if you're a church that doesn't have a pastor, ChatGPT might be a good option.
would
Like
be
if you're looking for
interesting.
something.
It would be interesting.
And that's going to open a whole can of worms too. Like, because what is it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I wonder, actually. Hold on. What is a topic that you would write? What is your sermon about this week?
actually, yeah. Let me look it up because I can never remember.
I want to know. I want to know.
Okay, so for this Sunday, you can. That's what is this Sunday? 26th. Write a sermon from Ezekiel 37. About the hope for new life in Lent.
Right. And the hope for new life. What? During Lent?
In Lent. During Lent, that works too, yeah.
In Lent. Write me a short sermon about Ezekiel 37 and the hope for new life in Lent. My dear brothers and sisters, like instantly, dear brothers and sisters, as we journey through the season of Lent, we are reminded of the hope for new life that is available to us through Christ. In the book of Ezekiel, we are presented with a vivid image of God breathing new life into a valley of dry bones. This story is a powerful reminder that God is the source of all life and that even the most hopeless situations can be transformed by his grace. Ezekiel 37 brings with the prophet, it begins with the prophet being taken by the Spirit to a valley filled with dry bones. The bones represent the Israelites who have lost hope and are cut off from their homeland. The Lord asks Ezekiel if these bones can live again, and Ezekiel replies that only God knows. Then the Lord commands Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, saying, I will make breath enter you, and you will come to life. As Ezekiel prophesies, the bones come together and flesh covers them, but they remain lifeless. Then the Lord commands Ezekiel to prophesy to the breath, saying, "Come, breathe from the four winds and breathe into these slain, that they may live." As Ezekiel prophesies, the breath enters the bodies and they come to life. The story reminds us that God is the source of all life and that he has the power to breathe new life into even the most hopeless situations. No matter how dry and lifeless our lives may seem, God is able to transform them and give us new hope. As we journey through the season of Lent, let us remember that our hope is in the Lord. Let us turn to him in prayer and ask him to breathe new life into our souls. Let us trust in his power to transform us and give us new hope, even in the midst of our darkest moments. May we be filled with the hope of new life this Lenten season, and may we trust in the Lord, who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine. Amen.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not
great,
bad.
but it's not bad.
Yeah.
Like it is solidly not bad.
Yeah. Like, I can see, like, if you were, again, like, if you were running a church and didn't have a pastor, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's very superficial. Like, it's not actually diving into anything, like, but
It does
sounds like a sermon.
It covers all the topics.
Right.
Gets the point across.
And I imagine, like, I'm guessing, like, if you were to plug in, like, write a sermon on Ezekiel 37 and John 11, like, I'm going to bet it's going to be garbage if you just type in, like, the scripture verses and that's it.
Probably. Let's see. Ezekiel 37 and John what?
John 11.
11. This sounds like any generic speech we had
Right.
to give at the end of confirmation. Dear brothers and sisters, the Bible is full of stories that remind us of God's power. Ezekiel 37, it's almost the exact same thing. Similarly, in John 11, we read the story of Lazarus, a friend of Jesus who has died and been buried in a tomb for 4 days. Jesus comes to the tomb, blah, 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 blah. As we reflect on these stories, let us remember that it's like super generic. It's
Right.
just like, here's what happened. We should love God. It's like
And
super generic.
sometimes that's all you need in a sermon.
Right.
But it's not really getting into it's really no different than a sermon that you'd find on the internet already, which is probably because that's where it's pulling them all from.
Yeah. Yeah. It is very interesting. But see, and here's the thing that I struggle to explain to my young coworkers. Because yes, ChatGPT can do programming, but its programming is the way that this sermon is. It's there, it's functional, it does what it wants, what you told it to do. But it's not great. It's not bad.
And it's not going to be like the best thing in the world.
No. If your end game was just, I need this thing done and I need it done now, sure, ChatGPT will do it for you.
Right.
If you actually care about what's happening, you're going to need more than this.
And it also doesn't have ChatGPT doesn't really do depth of knowledge well. Right?
Right.
It's not gonna, it'll be able to make the same connections that a first year student is going to connect, right? But it's not going to be able to really dive in and make the subsurface connections because it doesn't know how to do that.
Right.
It might someday.
Now, one thing that I will say will be interesting to watch is what happens with IT with something like ChatGPT, because it's something that ChatGPT is really good at, because all of the information is out there. If you have a printer that is giving you an error, you can come here and say, why is this happening?
Oh yeah.
And it walks you through step by step how to fix it.
Right.
Windows problems, directory issues, it knows all of it, and it'll walk you through step by step how to fix a problem. And it's really good, actually. So
Right, 'cause
that'll be
that's-
an interesting thing
Because
to
that's
see.
exactly what somebody would do, right? That's
And I don't want soul in that, right? I don't need a
Right.
person's version of that. Give me just
Now-
the raw data, please.
now absolutely level 2, you definitely want a human in there, but for those
Yes.
level 1 interactions that are just so did you turn it off and back on again?
Right.
Did you turn it off, wait for a minute, unplug it, and
And
then
that-
turn it back on again?
That's what we were talking about, is that so there are platforms that deal with customer issues and customer ticket systems and stuff.
Mhm.
Some of the big ones are already working on integrating AI into their system somehow. So
Oh, for sure.
if you had your platform's documentation available to the AI, for us, it would probably cut out 80% of our tickets,
Oh yeah.
because 80% of our tickets are tier 1 stupid ticket shit.
That was if you could so when I was working for the school district, so many of the issues, the first level support folk would get a phone call, somebody wouldn't be able to log in. Literally all I would need to do was go in, unlog in their process because they didn't log out the night before, and then they could log in again.
Right.
That was literally so much of my time was wasted on just killing all of these people.
Yeah.
If an AI could handle that, and if somebody calls in and these are the symptoms of the problem, and it could just check, are they logged in? I'm going to log them out.
Yeah.
That would save so much of
Like,
everyone's time.
I'm interested to see AI being used in situations like that. I want to see AWS and like I want to be able to go into AWS and say, I need you to copy this server and give it a new address, copy all the contents over and make sure that it's functioning correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That is something that can be done. You can
dude.
automate that.
Do you know how nice it would be to just be like, set me up a web host with our software on it,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just bloop done.
Yeah. It'd be so like there is definitely
Like,
stuff
it's like
that
pushing
this
an
can
image,
do.
but better.
Right? Yeah. There's definitely stuff that will be useful. I recently had an issue with our Wi-Fi extension not working. I looked online and tried all the steps before I called tech support. They were so happy when I explained everything I tried.
Yes.
I know, right?
Yeah.
That's
Like,
every time I talk to tech support, I start with, okay, here's the problem. Here is the bullet list of stuff that I went through.
Yep.
To try to fix it. And here's where I think the problem might be, but I'm out of my depth.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, cool.
like there were so many times I would have to like call into my old ISP and just be like, hey, like I just like basically it's just like, I just need you to reprovision my modem. Like there was a weird power surge, like the modem and my router are not talking to each other, like just reset my modem and then everything will and then I knew everything would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like after a while they must have like just put a note in my account because it was just like, oh yeah, it's done.
like cool. Yeah.
Because that was like, it's just like, I cannot do this. You need to do this on your end.
It's
But,
always
yeah.
interesting when you work in tech and you're dealing with someone in tech, especially like when I worked in support and then I had to call another support like
Oh, yeah.
with my job. Those were always the weirdest interactions because we don't give a shit. Like,
Yeah.
and that person's doing the exact same thing that I am, right? Like we're just working our way through this problem, and the interactions become so much cleaner
Oh, yeah.
because the language shifts.
Right.
It's not talking to like end user talk anymore. Now we get back to tech talk, and
Well,
we
and
can work through a
and
problem
that's-
really quick.
That's the nice thing when you're dealing with actual tech people. The worst is when you get the support folk that aren't tech people and they're just on the script and they cannot leave the script because they
Yeah.
don't know how.
Yeah.
Like, I have a cable modem that I cannot use because it's like, it's not one of our approved modems. I'm like, but it's
Cool.
exactly the same as one that is, and I don't really care. Just provision the stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, just plug in my MAC address
And hit the
and
button.
let's see if it works.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, we can't do that. Like, I don't care that you can't do that. Like,
Do it anyway. I promise you can. It'll work.
like it is a cable modem. It is better than yours. Just put my MAC address in.
Weird. So did they make you like rent one from them?
It's not like, luckily they give them out for free, but like, yeah, like I have to use their modem. I'm like, I do not trust your modem.
So what? So are you currently on their modem?
Yeah.
So I wonder what would happen if you plugged your modem in, like unplugged theirs, unplugged yours in, and then called them and said, "Hey, something is acting weird with my modem. Can you reprovision it, please? Here's the number on the bottom."
It doesn't work because MAC addresses tie back to the manufacturer.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Which, by the way, oh my gosh, I got new router for this house because the house is so big, one router isn't going to cover it. Like I needed two. So I picked up the Asus XT9.
Genova.
Hey,
You're
Genova.
shaking, man. Asus XT9.
Also, by the way, have you made use of the internal DNS server on your Synology?
I have not.
Dude,
I probably
it makes life
should.
so nice.
I wanted to build a pie hole with it, which
Oh,
I
okay.
could do if I was running my own DNS. Then I could do that.
So like
Maybe.
I just typed in router.lan and it takes it to my like I go to my router.
Interesting.
But so all of my whole network, like most of the time, it'll read the MAC address and know what the device is.
Interesting. These are weird routers. So this is like the bubble Wi-Fi thinger.
Yeah.
Huh. These are weird looking.
It is so nice.
Voice control?
I haven't done anything with that.
You can hook it up to Alexa? Weird.
Um like the
Check to make
the
sure.
network, so I'm on wireless right now. I have, let's see. I have a 2 gigabit internal wireless network. Like the backhaul between the two units is 2 gigabit.
Good lord.
Um,
It has 3 gigabit LAN ports and a 2.5 gig WAN port.
yep.
Damn.
So I've got the Synology. I did the bridge the two bridge. You can bridge two of the network ports. So the Synology is functionally a 2 gigabit.
Jesus.
So like if I'm ever transferring like between two computers, or like if two computers are talking to it, then like I want to have that throughput if I need it.
Right. I haven't even plugged the second LAN port on my NAS in yet. Because my router doesn't have any more outs and I don't want to get any more hardware. Like, ugh.
But
Interesting.
This thing, like the amount of like just data that it gives me is amazing.
So you have two of these?
Yes.
So you've got one. So you have your cables coming into their modem, and
So the cable comes into the modem. Modem. Well, that's the new computer too, Barlazy.
That's true. That is very true.
So it goes into their modem. Their modem goes into one of the routers. And then I've got the NAS connected to that router, and that's in the living room. And then up here, I've got the other unit. They have a dedicated wireless backhaul, so dedicated line, so they talk to each other.
Right.
And then 2.4 and 5 gigahertz that gets broadcast out to the universe.
Huh. Interesting.
And like so like right now, I'm using almost all of my bandwidth because I've got this going. This is going at about 6 megabits. And then I've got 3 cameras that are all uploading. So like I'm almost maxing out my upload, but I've got a little bit of headroom still.
Damn.
But when it downloads just like right at a gigabit, so can't complain too much.
Interesting.
I complain about the upload all the time, but I can't complain about the
So you've got 6 LAN ports total.
and I'm using 3 of them. 2 of them go to the NAS. 1 of them goes to my little Philips Hue bridge. Everything else in the house is wireless, and it's like as good as any wired connection I've ever been on.
Interesting.
Like it is. I'm shocked at how good the wireless is.
How much are they?
Under 500
For both of them or for one?
for both of you can. I think I paid $450 on Amazon today.
That's actually better than I thought it would be.
And you're getting 2 units, so
Right.
like
See, that's the thing. Like I paid I think it was like 450 or something for my router. Like it's a really good router, and it was like Wi-Fi 6 before Wi-Fi 6 really even hit
Oh,
and
yeah.
shit. But it's one unit, and so like the back of the house, when you're back in Johnny's bedroom, it's like through the kitchen and back through,
Oh, yeah.
and his Wi-Fi just sucks back there.
I the thing I really like, it jumps between, uh, like it jumps between the devices completely seamlessly. So like right
Interesting.
now, um, for reasons I don't fully understand, um, so my computer and my phone are in this room with the the client device. My my Android tablet. Oh no, my iPad, which is right next to me, is connected to that one. The front doorbell, for some reason, is connected to that one. And then both of the upstairs, like Nest hubs, are connected to that one.
Interesting.
But the third floor Nest one is connected to the downstairs one.
Okay.
But it'll swap back and forth. Like
Yeah. I mean,
after a minute, it'll go to the other one.
it's probably doing load balancing and stuff too, I would assume.
Yes, it does all of that. It load balances between like the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz band.
Interesting.
It's like it's really clever.
Huh.
And then of course, like with the NAS, I use that as my DNS, so it does all the DNS caching on the NAS.
Right.
The router is the backup, so all of my DNS doesn't even use my ISP's DNS
Interesting.
servers. It bounces out to it's not Cloudflare. It's I've got it somewhere. It's the more supposedly more secure DNS.
Oh.
Quad 9.
Yes. Interesting. Interesting.
And then if I really if I was feeling really creeped out, I could feed everything through Surfshark on the router.
Huh.
I don't care quite that much, but I could.
Yeah, your speed would probably take a hit.
Not yeah. The Surfshark's not.
Their speeds are not great sometimes.
Their speeds are not great. Yeah.
We found out recently that you cannot access Voodoo when you are connected to any kind of VPN.
I'm waiting for basically like all of the video streaming services to block, especially like ExpressVPN, which is the one that's always like, you can watch Netflix in other countries, and like that's, you're asking to get your IP blocked.
Yep.
I'm glad Surfshark mostly doesn't push that.
Yeah, Surfshark's IPs, whatever IP block they're on or whatever, got blocked from Voodoo at least. Like you can't connect through Voodoo at all.
They I know sometimes like Google will be like, hey, I've noticed some sketchy stuff coming from this IP address. I'm like, well, yeah, it's a VPN.
I think it's funny. My so I have a public IP with a domain on it, so that I can access my MB server publicly outside of my network.
Oh yeah. Now you didn't go like the DDNS route. You like got a static IP and did it that way.
Yeah, because the whole DDNS thing is just irritating.
Oh really?
Plus, I mean, it's fine if you're not. I'm a little. Some of it is just me, and like because my work is all relating with that kind of shit, it's just weird to me to not like point a domain at an IP address that's on a device. Like if it works for you, then cool.
Well, and most of the time, I don't have anything like that I'm wanting to access from outside.
Right.
But there are times that I want to have it.
Yeah.
and I get mine through Synology. Like and it just takes care of it for me.
Yeah. And it's really their service is super good. Like I was using it for a little bit when I was testing stuff out.
Yeah.
Part of it was when I was setting my Synology up, I was looking at virtual machines and setting up a web server, and I was going to host websites and stuff, and then I realized that would be really loud and obnoxious.
Right.
It would make a lot of noise, which would irritate me. And then I was
I never notice our NAS. Like
ours
so
sits
quiet
directly under the TV.
Oh, really?
So yeah, because like the TV stand, our TV's mounted to the wall. There's a TV stand though, and that's where we put like the DVD player and stuff.
Yeah.
That's where the router is. So the NAS is sitting right next to the router. And the MB server's on the NAS, so when we're watching a movie on the MB server, you can hear the drives in there going.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Because ours is not that noisy. And we have the exact same model, right?
Yeah.
You've got the 920 Plus?
Yep. Yeah, you can hear ours for sure.
Huh.
Some of it has to do with what you put it in, though. Like, what is your NAS sitting on?
I mean, it's sitting on like a wooden shelf.
Interesting.
Like it's kind of out in the open. Like it's not.
Because I noticed like the thing that ours is sitting on kind of acts like an amplifier.
Now
for the vibrations.
Do you have an SSD in yours for caching?
I do now.
Okay. Because I started with an SSD in ours.
Yeah.
So I never like. So I wonder if it just like figured that out.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's maybe gotten better since I did the caching. The MB server's a hell of a lot faster.
Oh, dude. I was so impressed with how much faster the read was that I bought a second one
for
so
the
I could do the write caching.
I know.
Because it was so much faster.
We don't, like, really all we do is watch MB on it. Like, it's just become a media server for us.
So I've got, what do I have on mine? I think I've just got Jellyfin, which same thing.
Right.
But I also use it for the DNS, like, and I use it for backup.
Right.
So like it backs up my entire Google Drive so that I've got it like everything's on Drive plus everything's on the NAS plus it's on my computer. So like,
right.
So I like having those couple different spots.
I did realize that it just occurred to me that we could set up space on one another's NASs as like double backup.
Oh.
Like you can connect different NASs together. Which would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
I don't know how I would feel about that. I don't know how you would feel about that because 90% of it would be pirated films.
I mean, I also have several backup copies of things that I own.
You know what? If they're just going to turn streaming services back into cable, I will go back to pirating. I am totally okay with that. I have no moral dilemma.
I'm actually, I'm waiting for Picard season 3 to be over so I can subscribe to Paramount for a month.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to be over so that I can just go download it all at one time. Because I don't like doing it.
I will subscribe for 1 month, and I will just watch it in that month, and then I'm going to go away.
While you're subscribed, you need to go watch Lower Decks.
Oh, is that good too?
Yeah, it's
okay.
One of my favorite Star Trek things that exists right now.
Okay, that's the one that has Janeway, right?
No.
Something has Janeway.
This is the cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there's also the new throwback show that's really good. Shit, what's it called?
Oh, with Pike?
Yeah. It's worth watching. That one's really good too. It's got like a buff Spock.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's got a wife. It's crazy, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very fun, and it's all like pre the original show.
Right. That's because I know it's like before Kirk.
Yeah, so it's like all throwbacky and old. It's cool. It's worth checking
Interesting.
out for sure.
Hmm.
I actually like that and Lower Decks more than I like Picard.
Interesting.
And I like Picard quite a bit, but Lower Decks is like that's my shit right now because
Okay.
it is canon. It is in the Star Trek
Yeah.
universe, but it's also like making fun of Star Trek at the same
gotcha.
time, and they do a really good job.
There was a episode of Leverage Redemption, where like the focus of the episode was a normie, and it was one of their best episodes. Like,
Interesting.
because it's like, what would it be like to be on the outside of the shenanigans that they get up to?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and it was so much fun to see that perspective. Like, they handled it so well.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the whole thing with Lower Decks is they're on a class of ship that is not the main class, right? It's like a secondary or third class. The main characters are the lower deck crew, so it's not even like the main crew, and it's just like here's what their daily lives are like.
It's like that one TNG episode when they follow around like
yeah.
That was one of the best TNG episodes.
And it's really good because there's these really specific throwbacks to stuff that like you would not catch unless like I still have Next Generation fairly fresh in my brain from having watched all of it. And there's an episode where Geordi finds a dude on the ceiling, and come to find out there's like a room in every ship where the gravity's fucked up because of how the gravity works.
Oh, okay.
So you can like at just the right time you can jump across the room and like float for a little bit or whatever. And like there's this weird callback in Lower Decks where like one of the dudes, that's what he does to go have fun, like to hang out and get away from people, is he goes to the room in the ship that doesn't have gravity.
Okay.
It's cool. And there's like triple jokes. I don't know. It's worth watching.
Okay.
So do that.
I'll look it up. When I subscribe to Paramount for a month, I can watch everything else.
It is worth watching. Yeah.
Should we take another minute and visit the little pastor's room? Because I could stand to do that.
Yeah, I need to visit the little heathen's room.
The little satyrs room?
The little satyr room outside under a tree. While we're gone.
Oh, what's the weirdest place you've ever gone to the bathroom?
Do bathtubs count? Hotel sinks?
Only if it's number 2.
Peeing in a sink is fine. It's when you shit in the sink that things get weird.
That's weird.
While we're gone, for anyone left in chat, what is your favorite Star Trek series? Who is your favorite captain? Let's get into
What's your favorite series and who's your favorite captain? Okay.
Yes. And we'll be right back. All right, we're back, kind of.
Pastor's slow.
There's a voice. I hear a voice. Is
There's
that
a
you,
voice and no
God?
face. Yeah, OBS is like crashed hard. Holy cow. Like it's not even closing.
Ooh, that's not good.
Yeah, we'll just kill that process.
Oh, there he goes. Now he's just a big
And now
OBS
just an
symbol.
OBS window.
You are, but we can still hear you, which is cool.
Right, because that's the fun of doing this the right way.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, I should
There
be
he
back
is.
now.
Fantastic.
All right, so yeah, we were
Favorites?
doing.
What is your favorite Star Trek series?
So my favorite Star Trek series is absolutely Next Gen. Like,
Really?
It's
When was the last time you watched it?
it did not hold up well at all. Like I gotta admit that it has held up incredibly poorly.
Yeah.
It is full of that like 90s progressive that is just cringy now.
Yeah.
But like the characters, like they have the best characters. Like there's actually like some character development.
True.
I like Deep Space Nine, but it was like the dark that you needed in the late 90s, but it's like a little bit unpleasant now.
Yeah. When I finished TNG, I tried to go directly into Deep Space Nine, and I couldn't make it through the 2-episode starter.
Oh yeah.
It was it was too much. I was like, I can't do this.
But I like that, and TNG just has that like fuzzy place in my heart because I used to always watch it when I was a kid. I watched it with my dad.
Yeah.
Like he had watched the original series, and I love the original series for the pure like camp of it all.
Yeah.
But TNG, like it's got some of the campiness, but it actually like tries to cover some serious topics in that very like 90s progressive awkward way.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll give you that. So does that mean that your favorite captain
No.
is Picard? Okay.
No.
Okay. Who's your favorite captain?
So my favorite captain is tough because I love Janeway, but I don't know if it's because I love Janeway or because Kate Mulgrew is perfect. Like Janeway's war crimes kind of make it a little hard to deal with.
Fair.
Like because there's a lot of them. And I do like I love Kate Mulgrew, and I was reminded how much I love Kate Mulgrew when I was playing Dragon Age, and she pops in as Flemeth, and it's like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
My favorite captain is Sulu.
Ooh, good answer. Good answer.
Because he is just he gets, I mean, no one else gets to boss Christian Slater around.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, like I would love so much for Paramount to actually do a Captain Sulu, whether it's just like a mini series, even just like an episode of a Captain Sulu.
He's not a captain. It wouldn't be Captain Sulu now. It would be Admiral Sulu.
I mean, I'd be okay with that. But yeah, like
Safe answer is TOS and Kirk.
okay.
But I really need to rewatch Star Trek anyway. I kind of stopped watching after 2 or 3 episodes of Voyager. I missed an episode and just never went back.
Voyager was rough.
I never watched Voyager.
It's so annoying because it's like the whole premises of the series is they got stuck because they had to destroy the thinger that was going to destroy things. And I'm just like, but or you could have used the thinger to go back and dropped a mine on it. Like
But then we wouldn't have a show.
right.
But isn't it like they end up in a different side of space because it flung them? Okay.
Yep. That was it could have been good. Like it could have been a good show. I honestly think Rick Berman is what killed it.
Oh.
Because like he had this weird beef with the guy that played Ensign Kim. So he just refused to let Ensign Kim get promoted.
Ooh, weird.
Like it was, yeah, it was bad news. He ended up on TikTok. It was really Garrett Wang did. He's really fun on
Really?
TikTok
Interesting.
because he's not really on it. It's his girlfriend that's on it.
Oh,
He's just like in the back. He's just like there. It's really fun.
interesting. I keep forgetting about Star Trek Prodigy.
Wait, which one's Prodigy?
Prodigy is another cartoon.
That's the one with Janeway.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Prodigy at all. I didn't make it all the way through Deep Space Nine, but I did watch it when it was like on air. Like every time I could, I would watch it.
I liked Deep Space Nine a lot better when Worf showed up.
Yes.
Because Worf makes everything better.
And Worf getting on Deep Space Nine was kind of like the Riker beard thing.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
when it comes on and you're not sure what episode it is, if Riker's got a beard, you know it's going to be at least an okay episode.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have a beard, it's going to be awful.
I tried to watch Enterprise and couldn't. I couldn't do it.
I watched Enterprise all the way through, and I actually liked it quite a bit. I was gonna say I think Jonathan Archer may be one of currently not my favorite, but I would say top 3.
Okay.
He's really good. He's really good.
So my top 3 of the like headliner captains would probably be like Janeway, Picard, Cisco.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Like, because I think Picard was like, you know, the captain's captain, right? Like,
yeah,
and then like with Cisco, they had to pivot hard the other direction and be like, this guy's the renegade and he does things, you know,
right.
Even though Picard does nothing by the book, like
right.
he just has that like
he has the air of it about him.
Yeah,
it's the accent.
It's the accent.
I think Picard's story is the best. His arc, just because it's the biggest arc in all of Star Trek.
Right.
Like especially with Picard.
Kirk's
now.
arc used to be the arc, but Picard's has really like supplanted that.
Yeah. And now you have the Picard show, which just extends it even further.
Dude, Barlazy, that like
oh yeah, that episode.
I still have nightmares about that episode. Like
I mean, he did too in the series. Like that fucked him up.
Yeah, that one and the one where he's like on the alien planet and like no one believes he's an alien, like those two just get to me.
Yeah. Well, and so
now I watched that when I watched that alien one as an adult, like I realized that it was just like all of the stupid alien show tropes.
Yeah.
Like the one who wanted to have sex with the alien and the one who wanted to dissect the alien, like, but the mental patient one, like that's a good one. That one and the one, the alien body snatchers that like took people when they were asleep, and then they like put them on an operating table and like detached arms and reattached them. Do you remember that one?
I don't.
Oh, let me find. I can't remember what the episode is. TNG episode. Like the only thing I know how to call it is the body snatcher episode. Okay, it's not the weird parasite episode. People while they sleep. Schisms is the episode. All these crew members started to have weird dreams or like lost track of time. It's the one, I think it's the one where like there's a Troy cake and they start eating the Troy cake.
Oh,
that might be a different episode though.
I remember that one. Let's see. Oh,
it actually might be a different episode.
Report they go to sleep but wake up exhausted. A mysterious subspace pocket forms inside a cargo bay.
I think so. Oh, and that's the one with the I think that's the one with the Ode to Spot. Ode to Spot. Felis Catus.
Yes, that one too. Question who wad? What?
Wad?
Who wouldn't wad? I do remember this, I think. I remember things not about the main story.
Right. That makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so that's not the Troy cake one. Which one's the Troy cake one? Okay, that's the one.
I love this picture of the phantasms.
Yeah.
The Troy cake.
Because Troy's got the Troy cake. And then like,
who was the biggest man whore, Riker or Duncan MacLeod?
oh, it's got to be Duncan.
Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod? The Kurgan. I forgot about that show.
Oh, the Kurgan.
Aren't they
And
like
the Highlander TV show was a trip. Like
Yeah.
just the way that like the first movie was like, there cannot be a sequel to this. And
right?
the second movie is like, we got to force a sequel to this. And the third movie is like, remember how the like last bit of the first movie happened? Well, no, it didn't. There can't actually be only one.
So they're doing a Highlander remake. And it was originally going to be one of the Helmsworths. Chris Helmsworth was going to be... No. Chris Helmsworth is supposedly replacing
So,
Henry
okay.
Cavill.
I think everyone's starting to realize that Henry Cavill is actually kind of a douche.
Okay.
Well, okay, so remember when like all the stuff was coming out about like all the sexual assault in Hollywood and all of this. Henry Cavill was one of the dudes who was like, well, I can't ask anybody out because it might be sexual harassment. Like,
Was he?
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
sucks.
And then it's just like he is that basement dwelling dude on the internet. He just happens to be hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that.
But like so like cuz he got fired from The Witcher basically because he kept like saying, "Well, this isn't like the books." And they're like, "We're not doing the books. We're doing something different."
There's the problem, though, is that wasn't what they told him. When he originally signed the contract with them, he said, "Look, I am 100% down with this, but we've got to stay true to the original story." And they were like, "Absolutely." The producer woman was like, "Absolutely, that is what we're gonna do." And then they started changing it.
Okay, that's fair. But again, like I'm still not entirely sure why he got canned from Superman.
I mean, that was just they fired everyone.
That I mean,
They
yeah.
they killed
Although-
everything that wasn't in production.
I saw a thing. It was The Rock saying something about how like firing Henry Cavill as Superman is like a new owner coming in, taking over a winning team, and firing the coach and the quarterback. And somebody was just like, "Yeah, but the DC universe wasn't winning.
Yeah, nobody was winning there.
Nobody's watching the DC movies."
The best thing that happened in the DC movies, it took the fans complaining about for 2 years before it even got released. I don't know. I didn't watch the TV show, the Highlander TV show, enough to know.
Oh, dude, he slept with everyone.
Okay. But
Like-
more than Riker?
Hold on. You know what? Let's ask ChatGPT GPT
Good
how many
question.
people Duncan MacLeod slept with and how many people William Riker slept with.
How many people did Duncan MacLeod, I want to make sure, sleep with? As a language, this content may violate our content policy. As a language model, I don't have access to information about the personal lives of fictional characters. However, if you are referring to Duncan MacLeod of the television series Highlander, it is not explicitly stated how many people he has slept with throughout the course of the show. The character is depicted as having many romantic relationships, but the exact number of sexual partners is not specified. It is important to note that a person's sexual history is private and should be respected as such.
Okay. So Riker has 14
Really?
on screen.
That
Like,
seems low.
so this is on Stack Exchange. Riker is shown to both sleep with more women. Sleep with more women is a result of the amount of time covered in the respective TOS and TNG eras, but less per episode of the series. Riker also treats his sexual partners more like objects, as seen in his treatment of Rolarin and Deanna Troi in Conundrum, as opposed to Kirk's nasty habit of falling in love with and or knocking them up. So it somehow depends on what you consider a pickup artist to be. Sheer numbers, number over a certain time span, or the treatment of women you sleep with.
See, here's what I would say. I would say that I'm going to give it to Riker because it doesn't really matter how many people Duncan MacLeod slept with because everything that he slept with was human. Whereas Riker, on the other hand, has
Very rarely slept with humans.
mated with lots of different things.
He tends to not sleep with humans, actually.
Right. I mean, he even went so far as to kind of like one of the only people that he really fell for emotionally was kind of asexual and genderless,
Right.
which was weird because it made you wonder if Riker might have been a little fagel. It's like maybe underneath all of that, he was really pining for that Worf dick.
Underneath all that beard, he was just looking for a beard.
He not only had a beard, he also had a facial hair.
I mean, it does say something for his emotional maturity that canonically he married the empath.
True. True. Yeah. And he had a kid and everything. Again, another admiral.
Oh, did he make Admiral?
Yeah. Have you not watched Picard?
No, I haven't
Oh my
watched any
god.
of Picard.
Sorry. I'm gonna just shut my mouth. I thought you were like up to where we are. Never mind.
No. Once they announced, like, I was gonna start watching it, but once they announced it was the last series, I'm just like, I'll just wait until it's over.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I wonder, though, if we're not going to get a spinoff from it. I think they're not wanting to continue it because I'm not going to lie. He is old, bro.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's not a young man anymore.
And, like, he has said he loves doing it, but, like, you can tell it has got to be difficult shooting with him because he's, like, old.
He is 82. Oh, wow. He is 82. George Takei is 85.
Oh. That is
Wow.
interesting.
Shatner's 92
Good God.
and still writing nonsense on the internet.
Of course he is. He's a strange man. George Takei is immortal. He is.
Yeah.
He is.
How old is Riker? What's his name?
Who cares? Riker.
Crap.
How old is Riker?
Jonathan Frakes. There we go.
There we go. I remember the end of Star Trek Generations. You can tell Picard is thinking, number one, I gave you 2 orders. Don't blow up the ship and don't sleep with anything. And I thought option 1 was safe. Riker was born in 2335. He was 29 during season 1 and 35 in the final season.
Jonathan Frakes is apparently 70. One of my very favorite moments in Generations is when Riker is in command of the Enterprise and the Klingons say the line that, like, you can tell that they've been waiting an entire season or an entire series to say, fire at will. It's like when Picard finally gets to say, shut up, Wesley.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's one thing. The Star Trek series that you didn't watch. Discovery? Not Discovery. Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
They explain the forehead thing.
For Klingons?
Yeah. Because, you know,
it's like
they were there and then they weren't, and then they were there again.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense. But it does. After watching that show, they explain it.
Yep. I remember there's a one-off line in Deep Space Nine, because there's the episode in Deep Space Nine where they go back to the Tribbles episode.
Yeah.
And Worf, and they ask Worf afterwards, like, what's all that about? And he's just like, we don't talk about it.
Which, it didn't make any sense, but then like that was a good cover to be like, we don't want to explain this. But then they actually went and like wrote a story that makes sense, and it makes sense why they don't talk about it, and like it all falls together.
Right.
So the commercials that Patrick Stewart did with Mark Hamill. Dude, Mark Hamill can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's pretty true, actually.
We're down with Mark Hamill. I think he should play the Joker in whatever the next Batman movie is. I think it would just be cool to have him as like a Joker for real for once.
I mean, he is arguably the best Joker.
He's got the voice perfect. Like he is the voice of the Joker. I think it would.
I'm still mad. Like, I wish they had done more with like old man Bruce in Batman Beyond.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at some point we're going to get a Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Something, right? Like, we're going to get an old Batman at some point. He doesn't
fair.
He doesn't want to, since we lost Kevin Conroy. That's fair. Should have had something. What were we talking about right before that?
Mark Hamill.
Oh, Batman. Have you been following the making of the next Joker movie?
A little
at
bit,
all?
but not like only when it like pops up on my Google.
I learned enough about it that I'm like excited to see it, and I don't want to know anything else until it's released.
Okay, that's fair.
Lady Gaga is in it, playing Harley, and it's a musical.
Okay.
Which will be really interesting, I think. I think that is a really interesting play.
Yeah.
After the Joker movie.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. I'm excited.
That's something.
It will be something. It's either going to be amazing or it's going to be an absolute train wreck. Either way, I am here for it. It will be entertaining for me no matter which direction it goes.
That is interesting.
Yeah. I mean, they did a really good job with the first one, so.
Right.
Like,
I just,
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see what happens.
That just makes me wonder things.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about like what my favorite Star Trek show is,
Mm-hmm.
and I realized that my favorite Star Trek show is whichever one was the last one I watched.
Oh, that's fair. Oh my gosh, we absolutely need Old Man Conan, and we are
Oh,
running out of
we
time.
are. That will be like we need someone to we need him to officially hand it off to the next generation somehow,
Right.
right? Like we can't let him die and
Well,
not,
because like,
because then we've
and they
lost Conan forever.
and they have like the perfect setup because the end of
Mhm.
the only true Conan movie. We don't talk about the other one. The end of the only real one is just like Mako talking about grumpy old man Conan. And we have a grumpy old man to be grumpy old man Conan.
It would be amazing. Uh, is so? Do you don't count the second Conan movie? Do you count Red Sonja?
Oh yeah, Red Sonja's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Just not. Yeah, the Destroyer doesn't exist.
And why doesn't it exist?
Reasons. It doesn't exist for reasons.
I mean,
It's awful. Like, it's just horrible.
and the other one was not horrible.
The other one is delightful and a religious experience.
Okay.
It is a story of a man coming to terms with his religion.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the Destroyer is
Not that.
no, it's not. But it has Grace Jones in it. Right? That's a plus.
But it also has Wilt Chamberlain.
Shh. Just because he was tall.
Okay.
Well,
And I will spot you Conan the Destroyer did lead to the excellent picture of like Wilt Chamberlain, Andre the Giant, and making Arnold Schwarzenegger look tiny.
Tiny.
And yes, anything with Mako does make like he
That's
made
true.
everything better.
See?
I mean, he was the best part of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, he was amazing in Samurai Jack. Like, his voice acting stuff,
Wow.
like from when I was a kid, was just fantastic.
He was in Memoirs of a Geisha.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy to me.
dude, he did so much.
He was a production designer?
Hmm?
What? Holy crap, he was in a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a
he was
production
in two
designer.
episodes of Kung Fu: The Legend Continues. What?
He was a production designer in 1971 on Chinmoku. And he was on the soundtrack for because of that makes sense.
Kind of sucks for like just how many of like his characters for his early career are just like
Stereotypical Asians?
yeah, like
Yeah.
totally just racist name.
Yeah. Yeah. He was in the Green Hornet TV series. The funny thing is, he was in I Dream of Jeannie playing Kato.
Okay.
Love it.
He was in an episode of F Troop. Apparently he was in 4 episodes of MASH. I mean, who wasn't in MASH?
I mean, yeah. I think everyone that was in TV at the time was in that show. Yeah, he was in a lot of stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I don't know, man. did we hit the end? Did we find the end of the rainbow?
Yeah, we can call it a night. I'll be all right with that.
I mean, I'm glad you're back with us.
Me too. Like,
We were missing you. I took a couple weeks off there too, because it just isn't the same without you, man.
I should be. Let me think. I'm trying to remember when the holiest of weeks happens. So actually I might be back next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's looking like I'll be back next week, and then we'll plan on the every other week for a bit.
Okay. I may be joining you on the every other week thing.
Oh, okay.
We may be doing just dual shows for a little bit.
Okay. Did that work, or did you not work?
Nothing works.
This and following events. There we go. Don't send them. Okay, there we go. Now it's better.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm
next
down.
week
Next
week we'll do a thing, and then looks like we'll pretty much be on the every other week thing for a while.
I like it. I
Okay.
am down. Thank you for hanging out, Barlazy. Genova, if you're still around. Thanks for swinging by. Sang.
Reaper, when you watch this later.
Yeah, Reaper. We love you, Reaper. We have not got an email from you in like 6 months. So what is up with that?
But don't take that as an invitation, because I really don't want to read it.
Yeah. Thanks for swinging by.
Oh, also, so now that I have a longer commute, I've been listening to NPR in the morning.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Next time on.
Do you pay for Spotify?
Yes.
You need to. There is a pre-generated commute list called your daily drive.
Okay.
And you need to start listening to. How long is your commute?
Roundabouts 20 minutes.
That is perfect. You'll get.
Okay, so it's on Spotify.
It's called your daily drive.
Your daily drive. Oh, daily drive.
There you go. And it starts with NPR. It gives you like a 10-15 minute breakdown of everything that's going on in the world, NPR style. And then it goes into morning music for you.
Okay, so yeah, so like I've got so it says it's Friday, then NPR News, and then the Interrupters.
Yeah.
And Operation Ivy's on there.
Yeah.
And Blink 182.
And that'll change.
And Less Than Jake and Sum 41.
A lot of punk
Mustard
rock.
Plug.
You listen to a lot of punk rock on your Spotify.
I've been struggling with a little bit of the depression with the move, and
That's
I
fair.
needed some ska in my life.
Ska is the thing. Ska is the medication.
There's nothing to cheer you up quite like ska.
It is impossible to skank and cry at the same time. It just doesn't work. Our bodies were not designed to do
not
that.
Designed to skank and cry.
It's like trying to sneeze with your eyes open. It doesn't work.
Oh man.
I mean, I'm sad that you've got the depression from the move. I'm happy the move is over.
Like it's doing better. Like it was just there was a lot of stress there. So
That happens.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're through it.
Thanks. I also I'm apparently we're also going to find out at my next therapy session if my wife's therapist can give notes to my therapist, because they joked about that, and I'm not sure if it's fixing to be a real thing.
Interesting. Why do you, out of curiosity, why are there separate? Would it not be easier to have the same therapist?
No, you generally want to have different therapists, because you don't want to have you don't want to risk there being like sides taken, because like the therapist is supposed to be on your side.
Gotcha.
Like except when you like need to, except when you were clearly in the wrong, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I was thinking it might be easier because then they would get both sides of the story.
well, that's when you would that's if you're doing like couples though. Like you have to
Yeah.
both be
That's fair. I like the note sharing idea though. That could be
right.
useful.
Like it yeah. But I'm a little bit scared for my next session.
It could be like, all right, Pastor, it's time, it's all your fault. We have all decided.
We have notes,
All your
and here they are.
fault.
And Mrs. Pastor is just like grinning like an idiot in the background because she has overheard that side of the conversation.
She knows it's your fault too.
She does know it's my fault.
It's all your fault.
That is true. Ugh.
All right. Well, cool. Thanks for
goodbye,
hanging out.
everyone's.
Guten Tags. We will see you next Friday doing all the Friday
and
stuff.
Frogs.
Enjoy your weekend and your week. Big hearts. We love you so
I
much.
love all of you except for Reaper.
Which he's not here, so we can just have nothing but love tonight. Nothing but love.
I mean, he'll feel the hate when he watches this.
He does.
Yeah.
It's probably burning his ears right now as we're talking about him.
As he's cleaning up from his thing,
he's cleaning something up. I'm trying to find the button. There's the button. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a wonderful week. Don't do anything that he would. Don't
do what Christians would do. Do something what Jesus would do.
Yeah. Don't do. And yes, do the. Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I
figured you'd be on board with
second that motion. And passed or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you find the button yet?
Yes. Bye.
Bye.